So today I'm going to show you how to make some roasted Brussels sprouts. And these are Brussels sprouts that were frozen that I have defrosted in the microwave. You can use fresh if you want to. And you can also dice these, but because I'm not doing them in a pan on the stove, I'm not going to quarter them. I'm going to leave them whole and show you how to dress them up just a little bit. First, we're going to add some onion. And this is just a half onion that I've already peeled. And I'm going to make it in kind of chunks. So we have big chunks of onion instead of dicing it down fine. Add that to our bowl. Then I have some golden delicious apple that I'm going to add. And you can slice these from the top side if you want. You can peel them first if you'd like. It's up to you. That's a preference. You want to make them into slices. And then once we have them in small slices, we're going to make some sticks. And if you have a piece that has the peeling on the back, I suggest you turn it over. It's going to be easier for you to chop it that way. And then we're going to take those sticks and we're going to make some chunks. And I'm going to make these because I want this to be a little chunky. I'm not making them into tiny pieces. Just a rough, rustic chop is all I'm doing on these. We'll add those in. Next, I'm going to add about a handful of some dried cranberries. And you can get the sweetened or the unsweetened type, or if you have cranberries you bought dehydrated, just use those. But those are going to make a nice addition to this dish. And we also have some walnuts, and I'm just going to give these a nice little rough chop. And this, just eyeball it. This is probably about a quarter of a cup to a half of a cup. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't measure. But just whatever your preference. If you like a lot, put more. If you like less, put less. That's the easy way to do it. And I'm just going to rough chop these with a knife, and I'll put them in a food processor because they'll get way too fine and mealy, and you don't want that. As you can see, they're already crumbly enough. And we'll add those in, and I will caution you that if you have a dog in the house, make sure you do not drop any of the walnuts on the floor or get them where your dog can get to them, because there's a toxin in them that will make them definitely sick, and it may kill them. So just be very careful with the walnuts. And this is 4 dried prunes that I have diced up. If you like prunes, add them. If you don't have to. That's a preference of your own. But they do make the dish have a nice bright taste. So now I'm going to add in a little balsamic vinegar. And this is just going to give it, you don't want but about maybe tablespoon and a half, something like that. We're going to add some sriracha. And this is a taste preference also. You can add as much or as little as you want. And this is a smoked sriracha, so it has kind of a smoky flavor. Next, I'm going to add in some black pepper, a sprinkle of garlic powder, some Creole seasoning, and there's a difference in Creole and Cajun seasoning, and I'm putting about a teaspoon of that in here to make sure that you have the one that says Creole and not the Cajun. Then I'm going to add some steak seasoning, and this is a different type of steak seasoning than the Kansas City or the Montreal. This steak seasoning is kind of a seasoned salt base. You can pick it up at wherever they sell the Spice Supreme line. I'm not promoting that line, I'm just saying that's usually where you find it. And you can find it at discount stores like Ollie's and places like that. This is what the dish looks like when it comes out of the oven. And as you can see, it's very hot. And there's some steam, and you can kind of stir through and you'll hear it's, yeah. So I think I'm going to grab a little taste, just so we can kind of let you know what all we've got going on. It is very hot. What you get, the Brussels sprout, you get that spice, you get that sweetness from the vinegar. And it is completely done all the way through, so it's not bitter at all. And you get a better way to eat your Brussels sprouts doing it this way. These are delicious. The sweetness from the plums and the cherries, and then you got the apple going on as well, and you have that background heat. It's really good. And the nuts give it just that little bit of crunch it needs so that you have that good mouthfeel. This is what you're going to have as your dish, and I hope you'll serve this soon, and look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Cooking with Roy.